Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Mind Over Money, a show where we talk on ways how meditation, yoga, and behavioral science can help you become a better and more efficient trader, investor, as well as a better human being. Well, my name is Shraddha, and today we have with us a very special guest, Ajit Banerjee, who is the Chief Investment Officer at Shriram Life Insurance. Now, Ajit has experience of more than 29 years across diverse sectors in the field of investments, financial control, management, accounting, etc. Now, he manages close to 8,500 crores in terms of AUM. Now, welcome to the show, Ajit.
Hi, Hitesh. Good morning. Good to be part of this show. And it's a new thing, I think, and I'm really thankful that, you chose me to be part of this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ajit, for taking time out for us. Now, Ajit, let me start off with the conversation with nearly 3 decades of experience under your belt in management and leadership roles. So, how do you keep yourself mentally fit?
So, what I do, first and foremost is I try to keep things simple for myself. In the way that, what I have realized all through these years, close to 30 years of my professional life,
Right.
that, your life will never move in a linear direction. There will be, ups and downs which will be there. And we have to certainly accept this as a part of life. See, when we go in the aeroplane also, at many times we have seen that the sky is always not clear, right?
Right.
When you are flying, you will get into air pockets. I think at that point of time, even the pilot could also, keep faith in the Almighty, believe in himself, and move on. And then again, a clear sky will emerge. So that's the way life is. And I think we have to, earlier we believe, of course, experience teaches us that. This is not theory, but, life teaches us that, we have to live with that. And, at good times, we have to, I guess, thank God for blessing us. And at bad times, we have to believe that, okay, this will also pass.
Yes.
I think, that's the way it is. And certainly some of the other practices that if you can follow, depending upon what your mind is aligned to, there is no right or wrong process. For example, I was spiritually initiated at a very early age, and I chant Gayatri Mantra in the mornings and evenings actually, and also perform some spiritual practices as a part of it, and which has certainly helped me and fortify me mentally quite a lot.
Okay.
So this gives me a lot of stability of and peace of mind to discharge my official and personal responsibilities, and also helps me to operate life with ease without getting too much worked up on every now and then. We have to accept life, and that's what it goes on. Nothing is permanent. The earlier we accept and believe it, I think things become much more simple.
Right. No, that's interesting. And in fact, Gayatri Mantra is indeed a very powerful meditation practice, a very powerful mantra, and also helps us awaken our subconscious mind. Now, how has been your experience chanting the mantra, and how it helps you de-stress your mind, and what is the frequency?
So I have been chanting this Gayatri Mantra for more than 42 years now, because I
nice.
got my sacred thread ceremony when I was in class 3. So and it certainly gives me a lot of strength, and to keep my faith intact.
Yeah.
And I have been also fortunate and blessed to get my spiritual initiation and Gayatri Mantra from one of the very revered and respected saints of 20th century of India. So where as part of that Diksha ceremony or the thread ceremony, we were required to perform Tri Sandhya Vandana, which means we have to do at morning. Afternoon is not possible, so we combine it in the morning, and then in the evening actually when we get back from work, and follow some spiritual practices as well. So this certainly has helped me quite a lot. I would say again, to believe in me that nothing is permanent, what I said in the initial period, and again keep my faith intact in God. At the time of when things are going the way we want, at the same time when things do not go the way we want. So we have to realize and understand that these are part of life. We have to keep faith in God at all points of time, and this is what keeps me charged actually. So
Hmm.
this is what I can say. And the frequency certainly is Tri Sandhya. Until and unless I'm traveling where we have to do some truncated version and we have
Right,
to
right.
adjust it. Yeah.
No, no, absolutely. In fact, golden words from you, Ajit, and I'm sure everyone who's watching this episode would look forward to, and they'll also get inspired in doing this. Now, any spiritual books you've read recently, or you've been reading, or you read in the past, which help you expand your spiritual journey?
So yeah, I mean, actually, my father specially had inspired me from my very childhood to read the books of Vivekananda. So
Okay.
and even in my school, in the elocution competition as well as elocution, I used to recite speeches from Swami Vivekananda as well as Netaji
Mm-hmm.
Subhash Chandra Bose, who in turn got inspired from Vivekananda's speeches actually. So that I have been doing it from my very childhood actually. And so later on, because I'm an ardent follower of the monks of Ramakrishna order, so I have read books like Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, then actually Holy Teachings and Life of Holy Mother Ma Sarada, as well as various books of Swami Vivekananda, like letters from Colombo to Almora, very inspiring speeches actually. Then again from my this Guru Maharaj's order, I have read books like Splendor in the Cave by Mr. Shyamanand Bandyopadhyay, then actually various lives of my Gurudev Sri Mohanananda Brahmachari Maharaj. So like that, which has helped me, and accordingly their teachings, what they have said to keep things simple. See, the concept is, people, what we were told is, God fearing. We need not be God fearing at all. We should be God loving people, and that's what has been the teaching. What I have learned and picked up from the Swamiji, the Holy Trinity, I would say. Even for that matter, the teachings of my Gurudev also has been that we owe quite a lot to the society, and and in whatever capacity we are what we can, we should pay back. It's our duty. This is what my father has also inspired me. So naturally, I also try to engage myself with various philanthropic organizations, and that's really helping me quite a lot to give a lot of mental peace actually.
No, in fact, you're doing indeed a lot for the society and for yourself, and this comes from, what we call the sanskar. This comes from the sanskar that you have right from the childhood and towards growing up. So yes, I mean, we wish you all the very best on that front.
I don't know whether I really don't know whether I'm doing a lot, but again, yes, this comes from a sanskar, what my parents have taught me.
Right.
And certainly I like doing it actually. Yeah, that's
right. No. In fact, what we say is that even thinking about these things counts a lot, because at this age and at, in the time frame that we are in. So in fact, if our thought process is like that, it intends to do the positive thing. So yes, from our side, I think the track is the right path that you've chosen, and hope God gives you the strength and the time as well as the courage to take things forward from where. Now let me move on to the another question as well. So I've heard that classical music, you also like classical music, as well as discourse is also something that you cherish. So how did that help you in sort of thinking in the right direction?
So actually, in my that's a very interesting question. In my maternal side, actually, there was rather a practice of singing or hearing classical songs, because my mother and her sisters were trained classical vocalists. So imagine that in my early childhood, I was born hearing my mother singing Jagiye Gopal. And then Bhavani, Dayani and all that. So so that is there in my, actually, from my very early childhood days. And naturally, Rabindranath Tagore is any case there, because Tagore is one I would say a person who has or a great philosopher. I mean, I don't know how to describe him. I'm falling short of words, but he has written and composed songs for every sphere of life. Whether you are in a for the nature, for the love, for the God, for your happy occasions, every you name it, you get it actually. So those things, certainly hearing them makes me quite I would say relieved as well as relaxed. So what I do in the morning is, as soon as I get up, and I'm an early riser, again I have it, I inculcated from my mother, that I get up, and then actually I put up some some chantings and all. Sanskrit slokas is also something which I like here
Right, right.
in the morning, which gives a lot of positive vibes in the in the at home. So that's what I do, and that's the starting of the day. And then as and when I drive towards my office also, I hear music and songs, so that because I always try that I will remain focused in office when I'm in the office, because it is necessary to set that mindset, switch on and switch off at the right time. Otherwise you cannot continue. So that's very crucial, and that's what I'm trying to do. So when I'm in the office, of course, those things do not come in mind. But when I'm coming to the office or going out of office, the moment I drive out, again the music starts. So that's the way it has helped me to distress myself quite a lot, as well as hearing classical music and all also gives a lot of power of concentration. And the mind soothes. Actually, music therapy nowadays in any case an established way to de-stress yourself. So it happens, and not under any training, but it is there actually. And as far as discourses is concerned, yes, as I mentioned that I actually closely follow the monks of and the speeches of Ramakrishna order. So I hear various saints actually. And even if you read Swami Vivekananda's speeches also, he's great saying that you have to believe in yourself. The greatest strength is in you. So those things I think gives a lot of boost to your confidence when you are down. And then all the powers are in the universe is already within you. So if you hear that whenever you are down, I think that's a big moral booster. And then the basically the whole secret of existence is to have no fear. Yeah, I mean,
true. Absolutely. In fact, all these things does put us, although it disconnects us from from the things that we're doing in the office, as well as puts our mind in a neutral state to think in the direction which counts the most. So that's what I feel, and that's what whenever I do, whenever I listen to discourse and everything, so it also helps me to think more creatively and think about the problem, and the solutions automatically comes to your mind. So that is the power of the thought process. Yes.
So even another interesting, Kshitij, what I have realized, I'm trying to correlate. So even see these sayings of these great saints, be it Ramakrishna Paramahansa or Sarada or Vivekananda, these were said long back when the so-called corporate culture or corporate setup was not in existence as such.
True.
But you can still place those things. For example, my Guru Maharaj says that Ninduk Mitra hai, matlab your critic is your friend, which means that certainly so initially I would say that at my initial phase of my career I used to get caught up when we used to face criticism or feel a bit let down and all. Not that I don't feel it now altogether, but what I try to see is that okay, what is that I can pick up from that? So these things it has been said long back, but you can relate to in your workspace also. So I think that's important, and that's what helps me quite a lot.
Right. In fact, my last question is: although we've covered most of these things in the interview that we're doing, but any learnings for investors if they start doing these small modalities on a daily basis?
So first and foremost, I think they should believe in themselves, and again, the
Very
basic
important.
acceptance is that things, yes, ups and downs certainly are part of life, and we have to accept it. And we should be bold enough to accept our mistakes. Mistakes, so long it is bona fide, it is acceptable. But the mistakes, once it becomes malified, that nobody accepts it, right? That is what I tell to my team also, that mistakes, so long it is bona fide, everybody will accept it. The effort should be there. That's most important. And again, certain some decisions taken by us can go wrong, which is fine. We have to live with that. But again, we have to see that what is that which would have possibly made it wrong. Is there anything which we can rectify it, and so that we don't again do it once again? That's most important. And then it is important to take some risk, because it is said that the biggest risk in life is to take no risk. But of course, what one has to understand that to what extent is what we say the risk appetite is. He is her, or even when we work for the company, when we take decision, we have to understand that what's the risk appetite of the company, what's my personal risk appetite, how much can I withstand.
Yes.
That's most important to understand. And then basically I think move on. And again, to be successful, it is very important to be a learner as well as keep faith and just move on. That's what I can say.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, thank you so much for your time, Ajit. And that's all for now. But do stay logged on to etmarkets.com for more on news, business, and economy. Thank you so much for your time, Ajit. And it has been a fabulous discussion that we had today.
Thank you very much.